Hey, howdy, happy Tuesday. I just left therapy. I really need to start talking to you like I'm talking to my therapist, because that is when I am the most real, raw, and vulnerable. I think people underestimate how emotionally exhausting it is trying to rebuild your life from scratch when you don't even know who you are. Hi, that's me. Lately, it feels like I have been grieving old versions of myself while trying to build new ones at the same time. Apple Pie got spayed last week on Thursday. It has been almost a week. She's doing fantastic. Now it's getting to the point where she is actually wanting to start playing again, and she's getting a little rambunctious. I think we're managing it okay. We'll see. She is definitely feeling sorry for herself when she's wearing her cone, because just the pouting that she does, and she walks with her head low, and I definitely think she feels like she's in trouble and did something wrong, and I feel bad for her. But in another week, she'll be able to sleep on the bed with us at night again, and everything will be back to normal for her, our sweet little princess puppy. They said she was an angel. She's honestly been being a real trooper, though. I'm proud of her. Since she has had her surgery, we have let Strudel start sleeping with us at night, because trying to let the kitten and the puppy both sleep with us at the same time was not working, because they just wanted to play all night and they would never just relax and go to sleep. So I figured now is as good a time as ever to try and fix that before we move. So I figured while Apple Pie is in her cage recovering at night for these 2 weeks, Strudel can sleep with us at night for these 2 weeks. And then when Apple Pie comes back to sleep with us, Strudel will kind of have his routine going, and it'll work. It'll work. It's in my head, it works, so it's gonna work. I hope this transition is gonna make it so much easier for everybody to sleep together. But like last night, unfortunately, at like 3 o'clock, no, maybe, yeah, was it 3 o'clock? 3 o'clock in the morning, I had to lock him in the bathroom again, because he just kept like running across the room and dive bombing on Jasper's head. Like, why? Why do cats do that at 3 o'clock in the morning? Why are they crazy? Why? He makes me feel so guilty when he stays in the bathroom, because he puts his little foot under the door and he can pull it just enough to where it goes do 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 when he moves the door. And when you're trying to sleep and that's all you hear is the meow, meow, just, oh my god, it breaks my little heart. So that's why I wanted to try and make this happen. So cross your fingers for us that it continues to work out. So I had ChatGPT help me fix my resume the other day, and I re-uploaded it to Indeed. I fixed my LinkedIn. I joined a Blossom job board, which is for healthcare jobs and medical coding jobs. I've actually found quite a bit on there that haven't been on other sites, so that's been convenient. But unfortunately, I'm pretty sure like every single one that I've applied for, they sent me back an email saying they were going with somebody else. So it's kind of really defeating. I did the work, I studied, I went to school, I passed my test, and now they're saying, entry-level job, but you need 2 to 3 years experience. How is that an entry-level job? An entry-level job should require no experience. Maybe some knowledge, but I don't know. Am I wrong? Sometimes it's hard to not take the rejection personally, but I know that there is a job out there for me. I know I will find one, even if it takes a little bit longer than planned. It will be the perfect job for me. On the flip side of that, though, I am finding all these other side gigs that I can potentially turn into full-time jobs. Like, I wrote a book. I'm working on my second one. I created 2 coloring books for adults or kids. I guess kids could color them too, like older kids. I'm gonna start making all of these things that you can buy online, and I don't have to do a thing. It's just extra money that I don't even have to put the money up front for. So it's just like residual income. I'm so excited. I'm starting an Etsy store. Yeah. The only really big downfall of being an entrepreneur and like starting multiple businesses and multiple avenues and revenue streams at once is it's not instant gratification. Like, you know, becoming a content creator doesn't happen overnight. Becoming an author and writing books and making money to survive off of those books doesn't happen overnight. Working constantly and consistently with no payoff just starts to get to you after a while, and it makes you feel like you're doing something wrong even though you know you're doing everything right. But it's just have to trust in myself that there is evidence that things are working. You know, obviously I know what I'm doing when it comes to coding. If I was able to pass my CCA with the percentile that I passed it with, not to toot my own horn, but that was before I knew that I had ADHD. That was when I was learning about my diagnosis and before I started taking Adderall. I think I was only on Adderall for maybe my last semester, maybe a week or two of my last semester, if even at all. I did have my Adderall for my exam though, so it was interesting to be able to pace myself. You know, the different feeling of like taking Adderall and not taking it. Constant uncertainty of life and income does take a massive toll on your mental health, for sure. It's very easy to compare yourself to people that have stable jobs, and yes, I do want to get a coding job that's stable, but I also don't want to be just completely tied to that job. I want to be able to travel and do what I want and not be a slave to my career, because I feel like we should be able to enjoy our lives. I don't know, isn't that the point of life? To enjoy it? I think the hardest part about chasing something that's so much bigger than our realities is continuing before there's any evidence that it's even gonna work. And that is what you have to push through. Most successful people started at zero too. And most people quit during this really fucking uncomfortable stage of life. But I'm not quitting. I ain't no quitter. You have to push through the uncomfortable seasons to get to the end goal. And I feel like this is the part where most people give up, and I really don't want to. I've had my days where I'm like really feeling sorry for myself, but I know things will get better. I know we will have money one day. We will be comfortable. We will love life. We will be traveling. I can see it, and it's so close, yet so far. There is one major thing that I have really been struggling with lately, and it is the fact that we are unfortunately going to have to rehome our cow, Bentley, sooner rather than later. He's the best boy, he really is, but he has horns, and he was raised in a petting zoo, so he is extremely friendly and likes to play and has no idea how big he is. I almost died in 2022. I had a perforated abdomen, so I was cut from went into emergency surgery, and they cut me from the bottom of my sternum all the way down past my belly button, like right above my pubic bone. I think I had 35 staples in my stomach. So I have never been afraid of animals before, okay? I've never been afraid. I've never had this happen to me before, and it kills me. It really does. When he gets loose, or when he gets excited and throws his head around and accidentally gets John, you know, he got John in the ribs one day. He hit John in the ribs one day with his head, and John had a mark, and I just think to myself, oh my God, like, I could get gutted. Like, I just, my body has such a visceral reaction. Like, he was loose the other day, and I was in the house. I didn't even go outside, and my hand, I kid you not, was shaking like this. My heart was racing out of my chest. It was awful, awful. And that's never happened to me before, and I can't be put in a position where John is 800 miles away in Kentucky and the cow gets loose and I can't move him. And I'm not saying he's bad, but I guess I have that fear now that I'm gonna get hit with a horn and it's gonna just rip me open. And I don't know, it really sucks because I'm not somebody who gets rid of animals. just because it's hard. But this is something that could potentially be dangerous, and he's a good boy, and it breaks my heart to have to do this. We're gonna have to find him a home before John leaves in July. He needs to go somewhere where he can be loved and doted on, and I don't know. We were fully intending on bringing him with us, but I've just been thinking about it more and more lately, and realistically, when he got out that day, I was like, oh my God, what would I do if I'm in Kentucky by myself and I know no one? I know no other farmers. You know, here I know people, and the horses are different. I know horses are pretty predictable. You can tell when they're gonna do something. You don't know which way this beast is gonna be moving his head or his legs, and everything can all move in different ways at once, and you wouldn't even see it coming. And I don't know. It's like ashamed. I feel ashamed to even feel this way about him, but it's life, I guess. PTSD, for sure. I for sure have PTSD from my surgery. Trauma changes your body before your brain can even rationalize things. Like, even though I know he's not trying to hurt me, my body thinks that he is, and it reacts immediately. My nervous system goes into panic mode because obviously I'm still stuck in fight or flight mode. The fear feels involuntary. Like, I feel like it kind of feels like an out-of-body experience. Yes, my body is immediately going back to the trauma and surgery that I went through that obviously I haven't fully healed from and fully processed yet. I do think people underestimate how physical PTSD is and can be. And I had a really hard time saying that I had PTSD from what I went through at the beginning, because, you know, you hear PTSD and you just think of, you know, veterans, and, you know, I'm just a normal person. Like, I just went through something. I didn't just go through something. You almost died. Stop trying to justify surviving. My God, I told myself I wasn't gonna cry on camera on the internet. Ugh. Get it together. I think the trauma that I went through has changed what my body feels safe around, even if my heart still wants things to stay the same. It really sucks having to make painful adult decisions like this. But when it comes to safety and realistic ideas, you have to rationalize. I really am trying to trust this process of what life is throwing at me, but when does it get easier, man? When does it get easier? Hopefully soon. I know this is not gonna last forever. I know things will get better. I know we'll have money soon. I know we'll have a house soon in a new state with a new start, and I can't fucking wait. I can't wait. I just wish it was happening sooner, that's all. Maybe it will. Maybe it will happen sooner than I think. Let's start manifesting that. I'm excited to learn who I am and figure out what I enjoy and what I don't like, and I don't know, just start living life. I can't wait to start working again. Get a coding job ASAP. But I think I'm learning that growth doesn't always feel exciting while it's happening. Sometimes it feels uncomfortable, uncertain, emotional, and really fucking lonely before everything starts aligning and working out for you. I definitely don't have everything figured out yet, but I think I am finally starting to learn how to keep moving forward when everything feels so uncertain. Like I've said before, I'm not a perfect person. This is not a perfect page. And from here on out, we're not going to be perfect at editing. So this is the real, raw me. Emotional today because I was just in therapy, so I apologize. But yeah. Come back next week, hit that subscribe button. Have a great week.